What's going on? It's Miz on MidTV, and we have just beaten Stuttgart 4-0. 4-0, yes, not quite a 6-0 that I predicted. I know I was a little bit big-headed, and maybe I was right too. But we won 4-0 after some controversial decisions made by the referee. But overall, it was a pretty enjoyable match, and I thought that overall they deserved to win. I thought our first half, and I kind of say that like every week now because I said that against Wolfsburg. I said that against Arsenal, and I'm going to say that again today. But our first half was our best half that I've seen us play for a week. That's all I can say. Today was the first half was our best first half that I saw us play for a week, which was very impressive because the last game that we played was a week ago. But yeah, overall, I thought that Stuttgart's plan to play was suicidal. Honestly, I thought like normally teams always defend against us, and maybe like the big teams like Real Madrid and maybe Barcelona, those two teams are like the only two teams that really go at us, that really attack. Even Arsenal, who don't defend whatsoever, they defended against us. So normally teams, they decide to let's defend, let's park the bus and let's counter. Let's go for the counter because that's the way to beat us. Stuttgart, they were like, nah, screw countering, screw defending. We're gonna attack and we're gonna get counted on. So yeah, we don't often score counters, but today we scored, I believe, 2 goals from counters. The first goal, absolutely fast counter. The second goal, offside by such a huge margin, but who cares? And it just showed that to those people that say that we can't counter. Well, yes, we can. Because if you actually go on the first goal, actually, obviously, you see Costa running everything, Costa doing the assist to Robin. But if you actually focus on Müller was running. He was faster than Costa in that moment. In that first goal, he was running so fast that he was catching up with Costa and Robin. If you catch up with both of them, you are fast. So, Lewandowski was the last person, literally. And he's not slow. But yeah, overall, the game was overall pretty good. And in general, like the whole Bundesliga match day, there weren't that many goals. And especially, in general, in this Bundesliga match, there weren't that many goals. And I guess that kind of reflected on our game as well, because we only scored 4. I mean, saying only scored 4 is, it's a bit crazy. But the way we play, like, we're literally, Robin himself had like literally 2 or 3 very good chances that if he passed, he could have, we could have easily had more. Lewandowski had a few good chances here and there. But so overall, I thought like we could have scored a lot more, and I do think like. Saying this after 4-0 is obviously always weird, but I do think that we need to be much more clinical. I do think if you look at if you look at the game against Wolfsburg, I did say that as well, where we won 3-1. I did say that I think we need to be much more clinical, and I have the same thing to say today. Because against Stuttgart, we had like 30 chances. Okay, if you have 30 shots on goals, you're bound to get some in. But if we're playing a game where we only have like 3 or 4 really good chances, we have to score at least 2 off from them. So we need to be much more clinical in like the big matches so that we can actually progress. And that's basically my biggest worry, is that we don't score enough goals away from the Allianz Arena. I'm talking about Champions League here, not Bundesliga, but we don't score enough goals away from home. That's one of the things with Pep, where like somehow at home we beat every team, but away we always struggle so badly. I mean, Porto last year was a perfect example. But Stuttgart overall, I did enjoy the way that they actually tried to play. But obviously in the second half they realized, okay, stop. This can't go on. We need to switch our whole system. We need to switch everything. This can't go on, and that's exactly what they did. So we then just kept possession and saw the game out. A couple of nice things though is that Matchday came on. That's pretty nice. Obviously now with Benatia back as well, seeing both of them on the pitch. I don't think we have actually seen both of them on the pitch, if I'm being honest. Like, this is the first time I think that I've seen both of them on the pitch together, which is just crazy. Just shows you how much Boateng plays every time. And obviously Boateng now got injured as well. It looks like probably a slight injury, like just a slight knock or precaution or whatnot. But let's hope for that. And Costa balling as always, assisted 1. Scored 1. I mean, all our attacking players today scored besides Coman. So that's pretty neat. That's very neat, But overall, I did think that Stuttgart, they were too suicidal. Honestly, I don't. I don't like to talk bad about teams that attack, because I respect those teams that are like, okay, you know what, if we can't defend against you for 90 minutes, we're gonna try and outscore you for 90 minutes. And I respect those kind of teams, because at least they've got a game plan. It's the same way that I respect teams that defend for 90 minutes. As long as you stick, as long as you have a game plan, you stick to it, not just say, oh, we'll just play 10 man in defense and that's it. But as long as you have actually a game plan, you have like, okay, let's play a 4-4-2 in defense or whatever. Or let's play, as long as you have a game plan, not just let's pack the bus, but as long as you have an actual game plan, I respect what you're doing. And in this case, Stuttgart, their game plan was pretty obvious. It was to attack. They had a few good chances actually. They really tried to like switch the play quite a lot, but it just didn't come off well. And they did have a couple of real good chances. So like one shot that I thought Matchday played the player on the side, and then Minatia didn't close a man down quick enough, and I thought that they could have scored from that. But obviously we have a Titan in net. Not quite Oliver Kahn, but close there. Let's call him the brick wall, Neuer. But overall, the match was enjoyable. The first half especially, I think the first half was one of the most enjoyable first half, not in terms of goals, but just in terms of general play. Was one of the most enjoyable first halves, whereas the second half, it was just like, let's see the game out. And it is what it is. But, let's just start with that phrase, people. It is what it is. But as always, people, you can rate, comment, favorite, subscribe. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye. Oh, yeah.